Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Esteemed FaceTime with Leaders, an initiative by World Development Corporation. I am Sunny Pancholi, anchor at World Development Corporation. FaceTime with Leaders is a platform for industry titans to share their experiences, thoughts, ideas, and best practices in order to inspire one another and future leaders. In a nutshell, we attempt to encapsulate the multi-decadal learnings acquired by these industry leaders. We also hope that by conducting these FaceTime with Leaders interviews, we can bring together a global community of eminent personalities. By bringing together such visionaries on one platform, we hope to play a part in inspiring the lives of other leaders. Great learnings from great leaders undoubtedly assist everyone by identifying, nurturing, and using the trade secrets that are proven success formulas for many. And this is what we aim for with these sessions, by making them a gathering of industry stalwarts and a knowledge-sharing community. We have one such industry giant on FaceTime with Leaders with us today, Mr. Parag Kendrekar. He is a versatile professional with an expansive career spanning over 2.5 decades and encompassing architectural design, project management, entrepreneurship, and educational initiatives. His expertise lies in spearheading large-scale developments and corporate facility design, alongside his passion for nurturing young minds through innovative media ventures. With a strong track record of executing construction projects, he excels at delivering on-time results within predefined cost parameters. As the proprietor of Parag Kendrekar Architects and director of Worksphere Ventures Private Limited, he has exhibited profound proficiency in architectural design and management. Welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, Mr. Parag.
Hi, good morning. Good, thanks. Thanks for calling me. Thanks for having this platform for me, and really happy to be here.
So, Mr. Parag, to begin with, could you let our viewers know in brief about your career journey so far?
Just a nutshell of this, I've been graduated from JJ College of Architecture, Mumbai, and after that, I've been on and off with design firms, working on my own. And then later on, I actually joined a developer group in Mumbai by name Loda, a big time group. And then further, I went on to a different scale of work where I started on my own again in a different scale. And I've been working for last 10 years. I've been working with various developers throughout India. And the whole ball game is about actually optimizing the large scale project, and optimization not in terms just in terms of design but in terms of strategy. So the project actually comes in form of a larger scale, and so it's kind of a macro and the micro level thing. So macro level strategy is very important. At the same time, the micro level strategy is very important. That's where I played a different card here, and I'm into a different league now in terms of handling projects in a very different way, in a very scientific way, in a very methodical way with respect to the design and the execution part of it. So that's where I come from a graduate from JJ College of Architecture today with a large scale of projects handling from Chennai to Noida to Siliguri to Mumbai, and various categories, right from hospitals to real estate. So prominently, it's more of a real estate scenario which I am in, because that's where the whole business is, and that's where the optimization is needed, and that's where I come from, and that's where I wanted to go ahead in. That's the scenario.
So, Mr. Parag, our viewers would like to know, what do you regard as the most strategic step in your career journey?
I definitely would like to make a point on this. It's a very important, a very thoughtful note or a plan which I made in my life is while I was doing my design practice. It evolved. It actually dawned on me that there is something beyond design, and there is something bigger than design. Design becomes a part of it. Project is more bigger than that. So the 90% is a project and 10% is just the design. Though the seeding starts from design, the project execution, planning, management is something 90%. So I made a point. I stopped my practice and joined a large developer. So that's the biggest thing which I change the life which I'm currently in terms of the profession, because that's where it gave me a different platform to think, a different platform to actually think through and develop few different tools, which I'll just explain you in some other point which comes in. So That was the most important point, where from a design background, I shifted to a business background of the same domain. So shifting from design to a business domain background was the biggest step in my life, which changed my perspective from 0 to 180, completely changed. That's the key.
Amazing. So building on to that, what are some of your lifelong learnings that our viewers can benefit from?
Uh, two very important, rather I would say one very important point. A business happens where there is a scale. I would rather go there in a different way, where there is a scale and there is a business. A penny saving is going to get extrapolated on that scale. So a 1 rupee saving on per square feet of a development, and if the scale of the project in few lakhs, it's going to save you huge amount of money. So point is, a small amount of saving, whatever it is, if the project is of a specific large scale, it is going to matter. And that's the first learning. Wherever you can save, it is not about saving, it is about optimization, it is about taking informed decisions. Very, very important. So as it has been happening, where the developers work in their own way, they have been working on some project, and they will always extrapolate their learning from the first project to the second project. But at the same time, that is where a scientific intervention is needed, whether that project was scientifically correct in all engineering terms, all design terms, and whether that learning can be transferred to some other project. Because the second learning from this is, my kitty is, every project is different. No project is similar. Though it must be 18-story building, but they are absolutely different, because every project has its own plus and minuses. They have its own issues. They have its own practical difficulties, management, what do you say, human resource issues. Many things come in, and that impacts the whole process of the project. So no project is same. The first learning is optimization is needed when there is a scale, because when there is a scale and the business connected to it, a small impact on the scale with respect to cost or design optimization helps in saving few crores of rupees. It is not just crores of rupees, it is also the time. Very, very important time. So the third learning is, by doing this optimization or saving or the scientific working on it, it saves your time. Ultimately saves money, but time is also very important. Why? In terms of, I'm putting in terms of time, it actually saves the human hours. That's the crux of it. Human hours. The whole headache which goes beyond doing to and fro, doing double work, is absolutely nullified. So money is saved, time is saved, human hours are saved, and that's where scientific approach to any project is very, very important. Fourth important point is, there are strategies, like I first mentioned, there are strategic level of working, I at the top, at the mid, at the bottom. So it's the micro and the micro. It's the macro and the micro management, micro and the macro strategic levels of project. So at the higher level, at the macro level, it is essentially linked to the business strategy. Mid level, it is typically connected to the management of the project, and at the down level, micro level, it is connected to the nitty gritties of the project, the engineering of the project. So make a note that once you course correct the engineering part of it, which includes the architecture as well as the other aspects of the project design, once you course correct it, fit it rightly, the management becomes easy. The strategy, which is on the top, gets connected to it. So they get aligned. So the whole point is the alignment of the micro level working and strategy and the top level business strategy has to be linked. And that will only happen through a very scientific way to deal with that process at the micro level and the macro level. So that's where I come from, and that's where I've identified and evolved to a level where I could see the micro level because I am into it. But at the same time, I understand the direction to this micro level working is only possible because of the macro level strategy. So both the strategies are very important, and marrying those both strategies is something which I work towards, which I actually go with. These are the four kind of learnings which people can take away from my journey.
Okay. So, Mr. Parag, from architectural design to project management and execution, how and when did you develop an interest in ESG and corporate governance?
I would say one thing. See, ESG and corporate governance. It's a very interesting. How do I take that ESG and corporate governance? I take it in a very different way. I'm a very at heart I'm an artist. At heart I'm a architect. At heart I'm a designer. What does that mean? It does mean that I am a indulgent person. Indulgent in the sense in the work. So I indulge in the work, get into the nitty gritties of it, and come out of it. In the whole process, I have formulated myself in such a way. I go deep into the work, I come out of the work, I give direction to my work because I'm a sole entrepreneur, right? I'm a small company. So I have to work also, I have to manage also, I have to strategize also. So that role play is something which I go through. Now, what happens is very interesting, where this ESG and corporate governance comes in. The corporate governance comes in where I go beyond my limit. What does that mean? Where the working is done with a group of people. So I take it in that way, where there is a I would say cooperative working. Let's say it's a not single man person. It's not a 2-3 persons working. It's a group of people who are working, and that's where I got an interest. I would it's my personal interest to get into a mode and influence a group of people to make things happen. And that's where it actually connected to corporate governance, where it is not a single person's game. It is all about collectively working on it. And that's what I love to and like to, because at heart, I am a leader. At heart, I want to guide people in some direction. At heart, I want to actually give a bid. So where does this happen? It happens in my company at a smaller level. How does it happen at a bigger level? And that's where this interest of ESG as well as corporate governance came in, and that's where I started working towards it and got into this. So it's
Amazing.
more of a human side than of a business angle to it. More of a human side to understand how collectively people work and how do they fall, how do they work together, how do they course correct each other. It's very interesting. So all this formulation which your company actually has done is it's a fantastic thing. Very interesting.
Absolutely. Very interesting. And this brings me to my next question. As an ESG and corporate governance expert, what values do you bring to the table?
I'll tell. See, I won't be able to answer you per se in that what values I'll bring to table, but one very important part which I actually explained. One, what is ESG and what is corporate governance? It is more of it rather it is at core a collective conscious. It is a collective decision making system. It is a collective uh, conscious responsible system. Again, making it is responsible also, it is conscious also, it is aware also. I'm just making a point. So how what I bring to the table, I by virtue of my liking and the way to work ahead in this society to make an impact in this society, I have to influence a bigger group of people with whatever I have. Now don't connect it to a typical architectural design sense per se, but I'm making where the entrepreneurship sense, the leadership sense, the understanding of the life. See, everything is boiling down to what you have learned as in your life, and how are you going to translate into the work, right? So wherever, if I come on a board of a company, that's where I'll be playing a role of not just uh, what you say, a board member, but I go one step ahead by creating a leadership within that group, influencing them, guiding them in a proper way, because I love it. I'm at heart, I'm a person who will love to do it. It is not for the sake of money. Money will come, 100% will come. That is not a problem. I love to influence a group of people with very creative things. It is not just creative in terms of drawing, the creation, the creativitiness can be done in terms of systems also. Because when you connect person to person, the creativity of the group, connection with the group or with people is very different. And that's where you actually influence a bigger part of the society or as a system. So that's where I'll come to a scene where I'll play a bigger role. I'll definitely influence the whole group with respect to very creative ways to do it, and a very methodical and scientific way to address the whole issues will come on the table.
Absolutely. So now that we have discussed your career journey, your professional pursuits, roles, and responsibilities, your take on ESG and corporate governance, let's move on to the subject of technology and its impact on design and infrastructure landscape. So here is my question to you. What are some of the most remarkable changes you have seen in your field with changes in technology? That is A. And B is, what changes do you expect to see with the advent of IoT, AI, ML, blockchain, big data, Web 3.0, etc.?
Very interesting question, and very since we are into this now, we are into this phase of, we have already entered into this. Personally, I've already entered into this phase in form of my office. So I'll give one cue from what transition, my transition to this, and how it is going to affect the overall industry. My transition into this, earlier I was a 15 people company. Now it is only 7 people company. Why? They are 7 people company. They are working equal to 25 people company. So the exponential growth in terms of work is happening, but people are less. The reason is we are using technology. What technology we are using? We are using all AI tools now. Till last year and before that year, after COVID, we started actually doing this. First, we actually developed a tool for design optimization within the COVID period. So we started using that. So that was something at hands-on experience in terms of developing a tool. It's not per se AI, but yes, it needed some coding and everything into it. Later on, we started actually using tools. There are a few other tools which are there in the market, which are Revit, Beam. Those are very standard and very technical, very, very good tools. Apart from that, the main thing which is going, rather which is changed, which has changed us, is starting visualization tool in the design, because it's a design industry, because it's a creating a perception industry. How the perception is created, the whole thing is changed now, because at a click, actually, I can create 2, 3 different malls at a click. So I'm using LookX AI, I'm using Wonderbelly, I'm using Architecture is a different platform. I'm using Discord community to actually host two platforms. All these new age platforms are being used to generate images, to generate rendered plans, to generate presentations. And literally a 5 4 5 team people job is done by single people. So in terms of efficiency, it has changed like anything. There's no doubt about it. And second part, which we are yet to acquire, is in terms of the technical softwares, which are BIM, which are Revit, and all other BIM modeling softwares, which we are yet to get into that. We have already started working on it, but it needs a bigger team. So we have started collaborating with a company which already does that. So that is there. What happens in that? The moment you complete the design, the software actually, it does not do anything. We have to actually manually build the whole model there. But the moment we build the model, it is quite laborious process, but it does one fantastic thing. Once you build the model, then you are off the hook, and you can just by a click complete the quantities, complete the design, complete the elevations, everything automatically. It is not AI per se, but it is very interesting to generate reports later. So it's more of report generating softwares based on the architecture design, which are needed for procurement, project management, assessment, clash detections, and many things into it. So this has already started changing. Big companies, there are few developers, they have started imbibing all these tools, already starting to. The major hurdle which is not happening allwhere is the tools which we use. The only constraint to this is the people who are around you, the sub consultants, also should have those tools. That is where the hurdle is now. Otherwise, there are few developers who are already working on it, have made mandatory pre-qualification for these tools to be used. So we are absolutely onto the track. We are one step ahead. We have already gone ahead on it. What it needs is more of a mental bandwidth. It does not need huge money. I'm telling you, it does not need huge money. It does not need huge manpower. It needs a huge mental bandwidth to accommodate the systematic working, and that's where we will take some time onto that. But next 2.5 years, absolutely, we can see that even the mid firms like us and the bigger firms more than us uh, are already tuned into it. And I know my colleagues who are already into this, they've already full-fledged got into it. It is just a matter of 2 or 3 years max. Everything will get streamlined, not just AI, but systemization tools like Revit and Beam softwares. And things are going to get absolutely streamlined. One example I'll tell you, one of the sites which my collaborative company is doing, they do not issue any paper on site. That's the most interesting thing. Everything is on screen. So even the carpenter who is working on site does not use a paper. He does not have a printout. Nothing. He will have an iPad. He will have a screen. He has to go to the screen, check it, and do it. And no changes, no double working, no revision marking. So it's more of a micromanagement issues, which I'm telling you, but very important, which actually gives a super efficiency to the worksman on the site also, and to the top management on the things also. So on the business front, there's a great control. On the work front, there's a great control. And no use of paper is again a very interesting environmental kind of impact there. So it's a very interesting scenario coming in. We are already into it. It will take some time to complete the loop, and then we go into the whole different AI zone.
Phenomenal. And thank you for sharing such insights onto the subject. Okay, let's move ahead. And this brings us to the last question of the session, Mr. Parag. So here it is. We are building a community of industry magnates. The move is meant for cross-pollination of knowledge and building a knowledge-sharing community of corporate giants and industry experts. So what are your thoughts about these initiatives taken by Mr. Zishan Pathan, Mr. Deval Mehta, and the whole team of World Development Corporation?
Oh, I'm really very happy to get connected on to this platform. And very honestly, I was just thinking before I got into this, I was just thinking how to get to this level of grid of people and the level of people, and how to share and have contribute with them. There was no way I was having it. And just a YouTube ad actually made it happen, and I got it connected. And then I went into the whole journey of what World Directors is, and I could meet people in London who are part of the World Directors Council there. I was very interested to see. So my first thing is Mr. Patan and Mr. Mehta. They are doing an amazing work to bring this level platform. I'm saying this level platform. So it is not about level of work or people or something. The play field what they have created is a fantastic, because half the, I don't know, I was in the industry, but I was not knowing how to reach there, and just by a look of one YouTube ad I could reach there. But I'm really happy that I'm there. So Mr. Mehta and Mr. Patan, I'm really appreciate and very happy about this, that this platform is kind of a, currently it's a I think it's an India based platform, and now it's world directors platform. So it's kind of a global thing which is there. I'm really happy. No, the words are less for this. I'm really happy to get connected to this, and I superbly support this. I'm ready to contribute myself in terms of whatever work, if you want to get it done for me for this platform, I'm there for it.
Great. It was fantastic conversing with you, and I'm confident that your insights will inspire future leaders. Thank you, Mr. Parag Kendrekar, for joining us today. Wish you the best for your future endeavors.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.